excited to bring on the amazing people who actually run our publishing company, Access Consciousness Publishing. We have Becky Van Ez and John Wheeler here with us. So thank you guys so much for coming on to talk to us today.
Hello. Look, we even match. We match.
I know. We didn't even like talk to each other.
You guys did psychic outfit coordination. I love this. Tell
me you work together without telling me you work together.
Yeah.
Wear the same colors without talking.
Exactly. Totally. Oh my gosh. Me either. I'm like, where are my words? Yeah. So thank you guys for coming on. And this is our third international book day event, third annual International Book Day event. And this is the first time that we have had Access Consciousness Publishing come to talk to us. So I'm very excited and grateful that you guys were able to be here. But I kind of just wanted to get a little bit of sort of the action of Access Consciousness Publishing. You guys work with a lot of authors. You guys read a lot of manuscripts. You work to create a lot of books. The editing process, the creating the covers, illustrations, all kinds of different things. In fact, I'm publishing a book, and you guys are so fun to work with creating the book. So I love you guys for that. But can you guys just talk a little bit about how Access Consciousness Publishing came to be, how it works, and what you guys are trying to create in the world?
Wow.
Well,
you want to go with that one?
I can talk about, sure. I can start a little bit about like how it started or what's the purpose, because so Becky and I just started working with Acp last year.
A year ago, yeah.
A year ago.
It's flown by,
yeah. Before that, it was Christine and Grace, and there were some ladies before them, and it just continues to go. And I remember when we first came on, I was asking Grace, like, what was Gary aware of with Acp? Like, where did this come from? Why do we have Access Consciousness Publishing?
Oh, I can't wait to hear the answer to this.
And from what I can recall, the biggest part was that they have all these tools, right? You have all these classes, you have all these tools, and they looked at writing books and how to get the tools into more hands. And so they have the books. And Gary, to this day, I still hear him in classes say, and like Dane even just mentioned too, we don't do the books for the money, we do the books for the tools. It's a different way to get a tool in your hand. And for a lot of people, I've always looked at, if you can't afford necessarily classes all the time, start with the books. They're an affordable way to get the access tools.
Yep.
Use the tools that you read about and then create the classes. I know Becky always talks about too, like the free tools that Access has created. Like Dane has the 12 Consciousness series, and there's all these different tools. And that's actually where Becky, I know I've heard her story of how she found Access and created classes, was the free tools. So the idea with the books is to get it into people's hands. It's to get the tools out there in a different way than just come to a 3-day class, come sit and let us talk with you, have a conversation. And quite honestly, the tools of Access are something that needs to be studied.
Agree 100%, John.
If you just go to a class once, do you really get it? And that's why we have manuals, because Gary used to realize people would come to a class, he would talk, they would write their own notes, he would look at them, and he found like in the early classes, they might get like 20% of what he said. Then the next level class, they might get 20 to 30%, and then they might get 30 to 40, but no one ever truly got everything that was said in the class. So over the years, they've created the books as a means to focus on specific subjects. So like, I know you talked with Gary about the gift of allowance. Allowance is one of the foundational tools of Access that's been there from the beginning.
But everybody can hear it now differently.
And now everyone can hear it in the book.
Wow,
and then we're all like, Gary, you're so smart.
He's like, I've been trying to tell you this for 30 years, but okay. Glad I'm in vogue.
And I know too, like one of the things I loved is the Living Beyond Distraction book. And then you have the distractor implant calls. So I listened to the calls to be a certified facilitator. And then I did a book club. And when I did the book club, I read the chapter and listened to the call that went with the chapter. I heard different things from the telecalls from reading the book. And I was like, wait, my ears get one thing and my eyes get another. So part of the history and the idea behind ACP is that it's to get you information in a way that maybe if you can't hear it, maybe you can read it.
I love that.
And I just like personally the tangible book.
It's wonderful to have a book.
Because I can take notes, and I'm one of those bad people who writes in the books.
Totally.
I was told once that that's dishonoring of the author, but I know the authors who write these books would like you to study the tools.
Totally. My husband and I share the books, and we're both access consciousness facilitators. And so he writes notes all over the books. And so I go through and read the books or reread the books, and I get to see his notes, and they're like hilarious. Like he like circles and he's like, that's me. Or like, like kaboom, like he puts sound effects in the books when he's like, it's profound. So I think it's very fun to write in books too. So.
Yeah. And I love the different, well, Access Conscious has different specialties. And then we have like the books, right? Recovery for You, if you've been on here, and Shannon, talk to the entities. Well, for me, each one usually has a lot of the basic Access Consciousness tools in it, but the voice is different. Like it comes out in a different way into the world. Like I got it differently with the joy of business and the different, voice. It's just really, for me, like it has a different voice than just maybe taking a foundation or taking a bars class. It's just, so unique. And so having, all the books, and like what John said, I personally am very ADHD, and I'll get a book and then I'm upset at myself because I haven't read the whole thing. So now I usually have like the books in like all format. Like I'll have the paperback so I can, and then I have my headphones in and the ebook, and I'm listening to it. And the ebooks now will actually read the book to you with the audio. It's the best thing.
I didn't know that. That is very cool.
So I actually read the book and it like reads it to me on Kindle. So like there's so many different ways. If you're one of those people that like buy the books because you like having them, and I think they do contribute to you because, I'll pick it up in one and I'll just look at a page. But now, I have different ways of, for me, like getting the books, listening, reading, picking them up. There's, so many different ways to have it. So, yeah.
That's amazing. So I just wanted to mention again I have two things. I want to talk about publishing books through Access Publishing. And I wanted to talk about the sale that we have on today of 10% off. So I've mentioned it quite a few times, but
you did.
I know that not all of you are here the whole day. So, so there's actually two things that are possible. Well, there's many things, but people can order directly from Access Consciousness Publishing, and the website is acpublishing.com. And for today, everybody gets 10% off during the event.
They do.
And the coupon code is book day.
Yes.
And so that's very exciting. But people also can like mix and match books and still get 50% off if you order 10 or more, which is insane. You always have to like have the same book, 10 of them, to order wholesale, not like a mix and match for wholesale. So that's very cool.
Yeah. Well, and our website is fairly new, and we've been working on it, for quite some time. And if everyone's like, well, I go to Access Consciousness website to get books. Well, technically it's still kind of the same. You're still ordering from us, like Acp, for short, Access Consciousness Publishing, handles all the books. Like we get the orders, then they come to us. So, if you're like, well, I like ordering it from one place, you're still getting it from the same place, technically, right? Yeah. So you don't have to feel bad. Just with Acp, we've kind of streamlined a lot of different things, thank goodness, now with technology. And we're able to, like add coupons for you guys, like we did today for this amazing day. And for all you guys listening, because you might have heard an author that you didn't hear before, and you're like, I would like to have that book. So if you've been waiting, today's the day. So we do have our website. We're still working out a few glitches on it. So don't give up on us. You can, always email us if you have any questions as well. Like I said, it's fairly new.
That's
exciting
now.
But it's up and running, and it's reaching the world differently, which we're really excited about.
Yeah,
so
it's very exciting. In our last couple of minutes, I just one thing that Gary always has said in his classes is write a book. Each of you have a story and it makes you an authority in the world. Write a book. It doesn't even have to be a good book. And so, can you just talk a little bit, just briefly about publishing a book through Access Publishing?
Yeah, well, on our website, there's also a place if you're interested in becoming a published author. And we have a tagline of like, what would your book say to the world? Which is so cool because everyone, you're like, oh, I can't do that. But everyone has such a unique, amazing voice, just like we were talking about earlier, that actually people are interested in. So there's a form you can fill out. If you're even like, I haven't even done anything yet, I'm thinking about it, I have an idea. We work with a lot of amazing people. We have even ghostwriters. We have different, there's so many different possibilities to become an author. We have a great team. So we're always happy to have a quick create call with you. Maybe, give you some great tools, give you some advice, or if you're ready, there's a spot where you can upload your manuscript and we'll look at it. And actually, Grace Douglas reads every single, and Julia knows this, every single manuscript. And so does John. I tend to skim through them because it's a lot.
I love your honesty. It's like it's like I love when people be themselves.
Maybe turn the manuscripts into audio form. Then Becky will read them.
Then I'll listen.
Well, and I would say too, because I know there are people who have submitted books who people submit and they're like, where is it? What are you doing with my book? Where are you at with this? And it goes back to what Becky just said too, which is we want to be present with each of the books that's submitted. We want to read the book that's submitted, and then we want to be with the author. And that's something with us coming on that Grace was really, really clear about now is she wants to be involved in the creative process and to support the authors. She doesn't want it to be, here's my book, I'm done, publish it, and then there's no more engagement or communication. Because Acp in the beginning was Gary and Dane books. It's no longer just Gary and Dane. Gary and Dane and Grace have had conversations, and they want to include more people. They want it to, again, get the tools out. The goal is to get the tools out there. And Gary and Dane have their way with the tools. Simone has her way with the tools. Susanna, Shannon, Anne, Marilyn, all the people that you're hearing from today with Julia, they all have their own way with the tools. What's your way? Would be my question.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's beautiful, John. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on and just, inviting the world to Acp and just being that amazing resource where people can order the books, buy the books. If you like 10 books today, order 10 books at 50% off. And that sale is not just for today. The 10% is just for today, but that sale is anytime. So what I love too is if you're a BARS facilitator or a certified facilitator, even if you are somebody who loves the books and maybe has a lot of friends who would buy books, or you do a weekly BARS trade or a monthly BARS trade, order them at 50% off and sell them retail. You could actually start a business just with the Access Consciousness books and the format and the infrastructure that you guys have laid really makes that possible as a viable business. So
easy.
And easy. And Katusha says delivery is fast. So
delivery is fast. Well, I don't know to everywhere, but we're working on it.
I was going to say it could be quick some places and slower with some other countries.
But I think that's normal for it
is normal packages. And just like it sounds really complicated because AC Publishing is one company, but we actually have 3 countries that do handle all of our printing, which is the US, UK, and then
Australia.
And Australia just handles Australia because Australia is Australia looks little on a map, but Australia is very big. I'm just saying. So we do try to make it quick and as painless as possible, and we're there to support you guys from publishing to getting the books in your hands. And like Julia mentioned, you can get the 50% off, sell them for the retail price and make some extra cash. And when I came into Access, it was created specifically for certified facilitators only. And that is something that has changed over the years. That 50% for 10 or more, and it's mix and match. That's for anyone out there who's listening to this or who you share it with who would like to get these books in their hands. So if there's a bunch of books that you've been waiting to buy 10 of them at the same time and you get the discount.
Awesome.
So there you go.
That's great. Thank you so much, John and Becky. You guys are
Thank you.
the best.
Have fun.
Thanks. Bye, guys.
Bye.